What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and I wanted to thank you guys so much for everyone who voted for last week's competition in the LEGO Minecraft Challenge for the LEGO Gaming LEGO Brick League. Last week, not only did I get to work with Xbox and Mojang and LEGO for the Minecraft Challenge, but I also got to work with the Sonic team for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. And this week, I got to work with LEGO and the Sonic team for a Sonic the Hedgehog Challenge. And my entry this week is not only my competition entry, but a little bit of my vlog from my time at the Pokemon World Championship 2023. Make sure to go to lego.com/gamers, vote for your 3 favorite entries, and be sure to hit submit at the bottom. You don't just click me and hit vote. You have to do that and then see the thank you page, and then you know you're good. And with no further ado, let's get into the challenge. What's going on, everyone? I'm Austin John, and this is the LEGO Brick League.
Welcome to LEGO Brick League, a content creation competition among the coolest creators across the world.
This is where gamers like myself have to use LEGO gaming sets to make new creative builds with no instructions, only inspiration and imagination. But there's one really big rule that makes this much harder. I can only use LEGO pieces from that LEGO gaming set. No pick-a-brick walls, no online orders, and I can't use pieces from last week's challenge. This is week 2 of the LEGO Brick League. And this week's challenge is... You know Sonic, he's the chili dog eating alien hedgehog who first touched down on the Sega Genesis in 1991 and is the fastest thing alive. Sonic has been in over 115 games, countless crossovers, over 300 animated series episodes, comics, figurines, clothes, action figures, hand sanitizer, mouse pads, cutting boards, mugs, a trilogy of movies, and much more, and over 24 Sonic Lego sets. Something you may not know about me is that the Sega Genesis was my first ever gaming console as a kid, and Sonic 2 was the first game I ever played as a kid. Not this actual Sega Genesis, not this copy of Sonic 2, because most of my possessions were lost in a flood when I was 18, so everything was damaged or lost or totaled, and I just don't have a lot from when I was a kid anymore. Maybe that's why I play video games as an adult. Oh, you didn't think editing Austin got accepted into the LEGO Gaming Brick League, did you? Ha! Here I am, let's go! But my fondness for the blue blur has not faded in all that time. But just last year, I actually got to work with Sega for Sonic X Shadow Generations. Last week, I had to take a LEGO Minecraft sets and make a build showing what kind of Minecrafter I am. So I already started theory crafting what the Sonic challenge would be. And I had some ideas like building a giant LEGO Death Egg based off of the Death Star, a custom level. But next thing I know, it was time for the challenge. Today was the Sonic box, and first thing was a flyer welcoming my second challenge. They sent over 6 Sonic Lego sets to me. Sonic's Campfire Clash, Cyclone vs. Metal Sonic, Tails' Adventure Boat, Super Sonic vs. the Egg Drillster, Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine, and Super Shadow vs. Bio Lizard. And this box, too, had a large blue box in it. I gotta go get the box. A LEGO Sonic the Hedgehog pair of shoes. These things are amazing. The amount of texture and angles and slopes and everything to actually be just like shoes is amazing. I love these so much. The LEGO Brick League challenge at hand is to use these 2,194 LEGO pieces to make my own build, answering one simple question. If I was as fast as Sonic, what would I do? Honestly, choosing an answer that isn't evil or nefarious is kind of hard. It's like when you have all this power, there's this great big responsibility that just weighs on your shoulders. And there's lots of routes I could go, but I decided to get inspiration from the best place possible.
The emerald has the power to turn thoughts into reality.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow from Ghostbusters.
In the wrong hands, it could threaten all life in the universe.
And then it hit me. My girlfriend and I love food from around the world, but we honestly can't travel nearly as much as we like to. So my answer is I would use my super speed to travel around the world to get the world's most authentic takeout, bring it home for us to enjoy together. But how would I show that off in LEGO form?
Every game is more fun in multiplayer. That's why we've asked some of the most talented LEGO builders we know to give you an inspiration buff.
Last week I had my call with Michelle, my LEGO AFOL, a LEGO designated partner for me to bounce ideas off of and give me some advice on making these new creative builds from scratch. So it's time for me to open up these 6 sets and organize every single piece. I got these little bead holders to organize all the small pieces, to group them by function and size, plates, tiles, clips, lots of articulation pieces, curves, angles, snots, bricks, and Lego Technic. And I recorded all the minifigs because honestly, they're so dang adorable. Also, when did Lego start making a 2-high 1x1 plate, or is it a 2/3 1x1 brick? It's all done. It's all done. Every piece has been organized. All of the tiny ones that are smaller than 4x4 are in these little sorters, and I have more sorters on the way because I need to organize them more thoroughly. 4 hours. This took 4 hours. Now I can begin the design. I had a very rough idea to identify a landmark and a food vendor from multiple places in the world. I looked at all the colors I had and I slowly started to form an idea. Although I don't own any, I've always loved the idea and the look of the Lego architecture series. And they're mostly based around one single color. And firstly, I have a lot of red and orange thanks to the egg drill stir and the bio lizard. And I know one place in the world that loves red. In 2023, my girlfriend and I went to Japan. But since it's a 14-hour flight, we decided to stay for 2 weeks and get immersed in the culture. As soon as we landed, we went to Osaka, where we met a couple of Americans and Englishmen and who are now living in Japan, and hanging out with them was insurmountable, and being able to find some great hole-in-the-wall food spots. The next day, we moved to Kyoto and got to stay at a ryokan, a traditional Japanese inn, with tatami floors, a large window overlooking the gardens, and waking up to the romantic swarming buzz of cicadas in monsoon season at 4 a.m. While we were here, we had to see the sights and taste the foods. And let me tell you, as an American, chain food is 100 times better in Japan. After a light breakfast, we decided to hop on the train and make our way out to Fushimi-ku, Kyoto. And we got to see the Fushimi Inari shrines. These large red buildings with these pointed corner roofs are absolutely stunning. Fushimi Inari is most known for the Torii Path, the red arches of various sizes up and down the mountain. The Inari shrines are dedicated to Inari, the Shinto god of rice, fertility, and success in business. Foxes are considered his messengers, so the paths are decorated with these large stone foxes. After leaving there, we got to see the Kyoto Sento Imperial Palace, the Temple of the Golden Pavilion, Kinkaku-ji, and at all of these ancient places, temples, palaces, monuments, there's the world's greatest vending machines. I'm not even joking. Like, you just press a button and it fresh makes fountain soda for you with ice in there, and it's super crisp and refreshing. And they're always stocked. That's the most amazing part. They're just always stocked. We finished the day at Nishiki Market, a downtown pedestrian arcade with groceries, fresh food, sushi, the gyoza of the Thunder God, which is the best I've had in my life. If you go to Japan, you have to go to Nishiki Market in Kyoto and get the gyoza of the Thunder God. We had sea urchin, sake, a little shop that seats 10, and use a Conroe grill for A5 Wagyu. Thinking back to the culture that we immersed ourselves in and the sights that we saw, I knew exactly what my build would be. I would build the Fushimi Inari red arches, but I don't have the luxury of a ton of bricks in order to construct large things. But I do have a lot of tiny elements, and that's when I started to research about scale. Minifig scale is essentially just built to scale for a world for minifigs to interact with. Compared to human, it's about 1 to 42. Anything smaller than the 1 to 42 scale is known as micro scale or microfig scale. There's also larger scales, but we're just going to talk about these for now. So I started working on a micro scale of the red arches. From here, I did a little stone path using various small plates and tiles. I made a small microfig statue on the right representing the stone fox statues, and I used one of the control panels from Tails' plane for a vending machine. For the food aspect, I wanted to build at minifig scale, so I'll be using Sonic as my stand-in. I went back and forth on the design, as I saw a lot of different sushi restaurants, between small stands, sushi bars, conveyor belt sushi, and I ended up doing a sushi bar with 1x2 jumper plates for the rice beds and various shapes for the fish. I made signs hanging above to act as advertisements or a menu, and I decided to leave these two as is for now, to go work on the other elements of the build, as I can always return to these revisions later before the deadline. When I was organizing, I found some very unique pieces like this hot dog, chaos cola, and other condiments, so I knew New York was a must. My girlfriend and I went to the city for inspiration, and we went to the Modern for my birthday, a restaurant that has this mind-blowing fried chicken, and wouldn't you know it, across the street is a hot dog stand. It's like it was meant to be. The hot dog carts that have been released by LEGO in sets before, as I've researched, are small hot dog carts meant to be cute and in a park. This is an authentic New York dirty water dog hot dog cart. It isn't cute, there's no grill, the wieners just stay in this marinated pool of their own juices and they get juicier as the day goes on. There's advertisements, there's flags, there's 37 different items being sold there, there's 42 different sodas. That is a New York hot dog cart. There's LED signs that are very bright at night, and for some reason like 5 umbrellas. So with all that in mind, I got to work. And for this dirty water dog cart, I have a lot of gray, which is really handy. Also, our Dalmatian Charlie wanted to be on camera, and he just kind of likes parking under me while I worked on the builds. And it's fine, it's like a nice little feet warmer there, and he gets attention, it's a win-win. I looked up several websites that were selling hot dog carts, and I based my build off of a generic combination of those things and what I've seen in real life.
I have the little areas for the dirty water dogs, that's why it's such blue dark water. I have an area for the kraut and the relish inside of there, cool. I need to find that before Charlie eats it. Here is where we have the flap for getting to all the components. And then I was having trouble with the tail lights to make it compatible with the Department of Transportation in New York City. But then I realized that they have these 2 high pieces. These did not exist when I was a kid. These are amazing. Right angle snot piece, put a tail light on it, put it on the right hand side, and boom, now we have 1 taillight visible from each side, DOT regulations.
SNOT, by the way, stands for studs not on top. So I used more of the SNOT elements on the vendor side for extra condiments, extra soda, a wrench in case something goes wrong, mechanical or criminal, and a payment terminal. I was struggling for an umbrella because I didn't want to use this small disc like in the aforementioned other LEGO sets. I tried to build something using the Sonic Launcher Technic pieces, but it just really wasn't coming out together, and also it was a little too big. But I was able to grab one of the half discs that's used to launch Sonic, and it actually works pretty great as an umbrella. I put a screen on the front for use to advertisements and a very bright LED at nighttime, because you have to have a very bright LED at nighttime. And on the customer side, there's ketchup, mustard, napkins, and behind the condiments are a transparent blue wall piece that I used for a fridge, showcasing a Chaos Cola in there. I looked at the New York Microscale Architecture series, and of all the iconic buildings there, the Empire State Building, One World Trade, Statue of Liberty, I really couldn't build anything like that with all the bricks that I had. Or if I did, it would be nowhere near the right colors or even just one solid color. So honestly, I just kind of made my own skyscraper. And because I was limited by the bricks, I wasn't able to build something tall of one color, but I was able to build it long, so I just built it on its side. I used the tiny purple Sonic flowers for large plants in front, several grills going up the side for the skyscraper utility floors, and those are on each side of the large window portions. And now with Eggman as the rough New York hot dog vendor in front of our skyscraper, I like it. I like the way New York came out. I even add a little bird on top because, you know, what's New York without some black and white birds pooping everywhere? That's the concrete jungle wet dream tomato. So the grand idea that I'm going for is that I'm as fast as Sonic, right? So I should have a way of going from point A to point B super duper fast. And how can I demonstrate that in LEGO form? But Sonic already has the answer. He just runs. That's what he does. He has to go fast, I have been told.
I gotta go fast.
It's not the thing!
That. He runs so fast that he stays on top of the water. Doing this causes a huge wave kicked up behind him, so I came up with this. I used these very long slope pieces from the side of Tails' boat to act like water being kicked up high into the sky. I used several different types of articulation pieces to give them all unique angles to spread them out. I used a variety of cheese slopes, and tiles in order to give the water a smoother look before it's been affected by Sonic's wake. And there's even a little turtle on a small little rock over there. And wow, he's just so amazed by how fast Sonic is running. Yeah, look at him, being amazed. Wait, not how fast Sonic is running, how fast I'm running. I love this build. I like how using the toe hitch ball joints I was able to get these angles that are not common in LEGO sets, and I especially love how the build is only on a 6x8 base, but the huge ocean spray extends past this small base, really showing the repercussions of my speed. From here I went back to the other 4 builds and I did any touch-ups and several more rounds of detailing. The sushi stand got turntable elements underneath the seats so that they're able to spin. I completely redid the floors for various grade tiles to represent the floors that we saw in Nishiki Market ourselves. I used tall slope wall pieces from the Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine for a little bit of verticality. I brought more orange into the build as Japan is filled with bright pops of color representing the different plastics and woods that we've seen. And I added a tall sign above the stand. There's not a lot of size in those stands at Nishiki Market, but there is a lot of verticality. I even used a variety of yellow and black pieces and tiles to loosely resemble Japanese on the sign, with the Sea Fox 2 plates acting as English translation signs above and below. For the red arches, I changed the elements used for the stone fox and the floor to be more gradual and more detailed. The hot dog cart kinda honestly remain unchanged, as it was the longest I spent on a build. It was about 3.5 hours on that one. It took a lot of time finding the various elements that would be needed in order to make it all come together with all the details that I wanted. So here it is, running across the ocean to Japan for fresh sushi, back to New York for hot dogs, and then right back home to spend time with my girlfriend and Charlie. And that's what I would do if I was as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed my build. If you did, be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Until next week, Austin John out.